Hey, I'm Robert Rees. So I was talking to an entertainer who does YouTube stuff. He does actually some Hollywood stuff. And he was telling me, look, man, he's like, I know you're trying to do this professional show where it looks like a show, it's got segments and stuff. And he was saying, this is YouTube. You don't need to do that. He's like, why don't you just do a bunch of little small segments, break them up and stuff. So I was like, all right, here it goes then. And so one of the things I want to add too is, so I've got Soapbox, we do headlines and punchlines, we do this week's Sign of the Apocalypse. But I thought one of the cool things we could do is, instead of just those, I'll still do those, but I'll also do story time. All right, so story time is basically just that. I've got a lot of stories to tell. I know I might look young, but I've lived all over the country, and I've lived in the Philippines, and had a lot of experiences in life, I guess you would say. So the first story I'll start off with is actually a story I told my entertainer friend, and he thought it was pretty funny, and it was one of the reasons why he was like, dude, you just need to tell stories. So this is what happened. I'm in radio, and I've been radio for like 6 years, almost 7 years now. And I was in radio for about a year and a half, and doing a radio show, and somebody asked me if I would be a judge at a food contest, at a cooking contest. And I was like, yeah, sure. And this was down in Texas. And the cooking contest, you know, if you're in Texas, so you're thinking chili cook-off, barbecue cook-off, you know, something like this, right? Well, he said it was a calf fry. And I was like, a calf fry? I've never heard of a calf fry before. Hopefully they're not like frying up calves, like, you know, baby cows. I don't think I would really like that very much. But he's like, no, that's not what it is. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'll do it. So I ended up, luckily, I didn't wait until I got there to find out. I had to do more research. I had to talk to people, and I had to find out, hey, what exactly are these calf fries and stuff. Turns out, I knew what they were by another term, Rocky Mountain oysters, basically. Basically, when these farmers down there are getting the calves grown, they dehorn them and they castrate them. And when they castrate them, whatever's left over, they fry up and have a cooking contest. That's right, it's calf testicles. And so, yeah, I was a food judge for a calf testicle cooking contest. Now, I know what you're wondering. How do you cook calf testicles? Oh, that's what I was wondering too. And I'll tell you how they do it. They call them Rocky Mountain oysters for a reason. It's because they're round, like oysters, and some people cook them like oysters, like they fry them, just like oysters. But in order to get them to have more of an oyster consistency, they take a big old mallet and they pound them to where they're nice and flat. Yeah, that's right. They pound on the testicles until they're nice and flat, and then they fry them up with some good seasonings and stuff like that. Other people, they were trying some different ways to slice them all thin and serve them like they were chips or something. They were doing all these different things like that. But yeah, that was my very first judge contest, like where I was a food critic judge or whatever. It was for calf testicles, so it's called calf fries. And here's the reality, though. I'm not saying I loved them, but you know, if it was a choice of starving to death, you know, going Donner Party, or eating some calf balls, I ate some calf testicles all day long, no problem. They weren't great, but you could sustain yourself off of them. Anyway, that's story time. Thanks for joining me here on Newsflash Show. I'm Robert Rees.